Hello everyone, this is Singy from the Sanctum of the Soul, and today I've got with me the Inner Star Oracle deck. Um, this is by no means a new deck, it has been out for a couple of years now. I got this deck when it was first announced, I think, um, but I have been using it quite a bit over the years, and I thought I'd give the author a shout out and also walk you through the pros and cons of the deck. I will be linking the author, Joe Klima's website, uh, in the description, and I will also include uh, the shop of my friend who does carry a lot of independent decks. And if you are in Singapore, for example, she does absorb the shipping, so it might actually be cheaper for you to get it from her site than from the original site. So she does ship internationally as well, so you might want to check out the prices on both sites to find what's the best price for you. So anyway, let's get to it. This is the Magic edition. If I'm not wrong, she has another edition which is black and white, um, which I personally feel is a little bland and kind of defeats the purpose unless you would like to color it in. But that is a personal opinion because I think at some point the black and white deck was sold out, so evidently many people do like it. Right. So it says the Inner Star Oracle deck by the Darling Tree. So that Joe Klima is the lady behind the Darling Tree. For the magic seekers who know there's more beyond what meets the eye and sense the guiding energies around them and who dream of living a soul-filled life. The cards in this deck offer a little reminder of our inner wisdom, imagination and intuition. A 55 card deck plus guidebook and of course designed by Joe Klima. So the first thing I really like about this deck is the fact that they have got 55 cards in there. Okay, so the box is really sturdy and I really love the color gradients. You can see the symbols, it's gorgeous, and you can see the outline of the lady. So where was I? Right, so the deck has got 55 cards in it, which in today's climate is a lot for an Oracle deck. We usually see an average of about 45 cards. Some new decks have as low as 25 cards. So I really like a fleshed out deck because on one hand, I feel like there's more variety to the energy and you can have a way larger spread without depleting half the deck. On the other hand, none of these decks are particularly cheap products, so having more cards feel like it's more worth your money basically. So because I got this directly from Joe Klima, because my friend hadn't opened her shop back in the day, she gave me a channeled card. Apparently I can't find that card that she wrote where she was like, thank you and here's a card for you. So what's interesting about this card is it's not the same size as the rest of the deck, so I feel like this might be a prototype card that she gave out because it seriously does not line up. You can see the slight difference in size, so because of that I keep it aside. I don't include it in the deck, and the deck does have this card in it, so no loss. My first gripe with this deck is that the guidebook is really thin, and quality wise it's not the best I've seen because of how thin it is, and it's held together by this staples. So the introduction, it does have a bit of an introduction, but it doesn't say much about how to read the deck in terms of color, for example. And she does say that infused with additional elements and visual keys to offer an even more powerful energy. So that is in comparison to the black and white deck, of course. Right, so she is very astrologically based. So each one has been created to bring to light an aspect of yourself. Right, so she doesn't actually tell you what the colors mean. So knowing me, I don't really subscribe to just looking at one aspect of the deck or a few aspects. I like to look at the entire energy of the deck, and of course color is one of the most obvious energies. So I would have liked that they explained what the colors mean. For example, are they the chakras? Are they the energy of certain constellations? Things like that I would have liked to see, but it doesn't matter because I did find it very intuitive to read, and the keywords are so succinct that I don't really have to read the guidebook at all. So you can see that 55 cards is quite hefty. The card stock is fantastic. It is thick. It is really nice matte feel. This card stock reminds me of Hay House's Mystical Shaman Oracle and the Divine Feminine Oracle, that kind of card stock. Card size for me is fine. Any larger and it would have been a bit harder to shuffle, but cardstock is fine, and you can see how smoothly it shuffles. Now keep in mind that I have been regularly using this deck for the past almost 2 years or 2 years, I can't remember when, and the cards have held up surprisingly well. Not a scuff on the cards, which I really enjoy. And of course I haven't had the chance to rearrange it back in order, but the cards came in alphabetical order rather than any particular symbolic order, so I didn't think it was necessary since I'm going to be walking through every single card in the deck anyway. So this is going to be quite quick because there isn't much to say about each deck. It is a very experiential thing because of the sacred geometry and the sigils. So I will point out a few details that I like, but otherwise I think it's a very personal kind of reading when you're using this deck. I love how the card just matches. Okay, sacred knowledge. Create your reality. So pay attention to the background. So you do see that this one has kind of like a peacock display in the back. It is a peacock, so you can see the head here and you can see the peacock displays. This one has the crescent moon. So in the magic edition you've got all these additional things. If you get the black and white edition, it doesn't come with any of those. It's simply the symbol in black and that's it. And this is essential growth. I like how when it comes to things like create your reality, it looks a bit more cosmic, and then when it comes to growth, it does look more plant-like, more organic. And you've got the clouds behind, but this looks like an organic flower, a plant, and then that really gets into the co-growth thing. So of course you've got sacred knowledge here, so you can see that the colors do kind of make sense. Like this is probably the air element, where you've got knowledge, and then this is more spirit, more soul based, and then we've got the earth based growth, and when you have the unknown again, back to soul based colors. And of course this is the Hansa, I think that's called, the Turkish hand that wards off evil. Let go to flow. This is definitely one of my favorite messages. This is beautiful. Let me take a screenshot of that. Okay. Radiate your light. You can see the details. There's a lady here, And it does give her, because she's in a tank top, it does give it a more modern feel. And you can see how sharp the lines are, very defined lines, which I really like. Mindful creation, expand your heart, matching vibration. So what I also like about this deck is that you can meditate with it, that you can tap into the energy that's been programmed into each symbol. Trust the journey, shamanic kind of imagery here. Magical gratitude, I always think this is a horseshoe. Dare to imagine, kindred support, source new fuel, very beautiful. Reminds me of one of those tea lights from the Indian Festival of Lights. Always evolving, of course, that is the symbol of femininity in alchemy. The Vesica Pisces, yes, that's what it's called. Activate your mind, challenge yourself, intentional legacy. This is the card that she gave me. You can see that there is some slight variations in color, so this is almost definitely a prototype deck. Intentional legacy, inspire yourself, protect your energy. I love that it looks like a wall, it looks like one of those star forts in Europe, but at the same time it does still look open, and you can see the gradients of energy. It's an open energy, so while protecting your energy, it doesn't mean that you cloister yourself and you stifle your own energy flow. Positive reflection, symmetrical, of course, passion to thrive, external energy, eternal energy, sorry, that made absolutely no sense when I said it. Diamond strength, I really like this card. Okay, and let's get on with it. To find your calm, express your truth, the goddess within. This deck is going to be quite feminine as well, in case you haven't noticed, the female figures in the background, so I don't remember there being a god within card. So one thing to note, of course, I like the lotus. Unfolding lesson, soul connection. I love how it spreads out. Inner resources, and this looks almost like a synapse. This looks a bit like Shambhala, the Buddhist sacred space. Present moment, love the lavender colors. The mountain imagery, the trees in the background, and the far night sky. Clarity of insight, love the color. And the eye in the background, well, it is an entire face, but it's easier to see when you're looking at the cards in person. Take an adventure, love this one. It's not quite sacred geometry here because of all the mountains, but it still works, so it doesn't look out of place at all. Spiritual truth, embodied knowing, be enchanted. I call this the Jimmy Neutron card. Surrender control, natural cycles, love this card, uplift each other. So you can see that this card deals with more general advice, general small actions that you can take, and also it works with bigger kind of guidance bigger directions and guidance. So this oracle deck is for advice. It is not for any other kind of divination. You can use it for a daily pull to see what to focus on that day, or you could do it at the end of a reading as a supplementary reading, or you can, you know, take a few cards and meditate with them. But they do deal with a specific. Hold on a moment. I will resume the video.